Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on them. Mike.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on them. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's cause he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're wrong, what you getting in? Perfect Plex Radio, got them listening. Mike Knoxxx, from Cena to the Rock, or whatever wrestler is hot. News and interviews, this a one-stop shop. Matter of fact, let me give you more choices. You can call in and be the voice with the voiceless. So what you waiting on? Let's get it cracking. Let's talk wrestling, that's enough rapping. Perfect Plex Radio.
Everybody, welcome back to Unpopular Reviews, Perfect Plex Talk Radio, the Mike Knoxxx Show. And today, technical difficulties or not, if you live in the Florida area and you have Spectrum, we're out. There's no internet. It's just little old me on my phone. And I said to myself, I have a great show today. And just like my ancestors, they're not going to hold us down today. Not at all. We celebrate Black History Month right here on Unpopular Review. Probably the Mike Knoxxx Perfect Talk Radio. So no. Oh no. You think, and I'm not alone, because I get hype about things I'm important about. Who else can carry my energy? Not you, but he can. Welcome back to the program. The Z is silent, but never. What's going on, Dice Man?
Hey, everybody. The Mike Knoxxx Show. UPR. Acknowledge me. The Mighty Dice Man, a.k.a. the Z is silent, a.k.a. the apprentice of the almighty Thanos, a.k.a. the Shang Tsung of this wrestling debate talk. You come for me, your soul is mine, a.k.a. Big champ in the chat. I know it's been a while, but look at it. Now respect it. A.k.a. your mama's favorite daddy, a.k.a. Cito Mapapio.
Well, I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. I just made a show. I just knew Poppy was daddy.
Okay. Okay.
I've been listening to Bad Bunny since the Grammys.
Well, you know what? What a performance. I'm gonna leave the Grammys where they were, which was last night. And we're gonna talk about today because, man, I had to do this show. I always prepare. I always feel like, Dyson, you've been here before. When I prepare really, really hard, I feel like all of a sudden there's some technical difficulties, right? So, like, I prepared for this yesterday, went through some things today because this is a very important subject. First of all, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to us. Please hit the bell notification icon, let you know when we go live. Okay, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button. That's how, we try to turn this into a bigger and better thing than what we got. But hey, not having internet, that's not my fault. Still going to be a good show. Hopefully our voices are enough for you. And always holding me down for the last damn near a decade backstage, my man, King Vaughn Jr. 720 on the Twitter, King Vaughn, the Victorious Ones podcast, always holding us down. Make sure you go there, follow him as well, and check out his show as well. Today, guys, a lot to talk about this week in pro wrestling. Most importantly, that best storylines ever by a black lead, right? We're talking about the greatest storyline of all time. Some would arguably say, at least I'm saying without arguably, that it's the bloodline right now.
It is.
But hey,
undoubtedly.
Indubitably, the greatest storyline of all time to me. And also, okay, everybody talking about give them this, give them that. Well, every year, I've been doing this for 14 years now, Dice. I got to figure out how to stay relevant, how to stay current, how to change it up a little bit, right? Like, do I do a Fox Show sports every day? It's hard talking about sports every single day. So when you're doing this for 14 years, it's hard to come up with a subject that can be different. So I figured, you know what we're gonna do this year? We're gonna give some wrestlers their flowers this year. We're gonna give Black wrestlers, a female and a male wrestler, for the rest of the month here on Black History Month. We're gonna give out some wrestlers their flowers on this program during this Black History Month segment we got going on. Dice Man, before we get into This Week in Wrestling, before we get into the Black Leagues and giving away flowers, which we're giving them today to Bianca Belair, okay, as well as Ron Simmons.
Ron damn Simmons.
Ron damn Simmons. True story. I love him so much because he reminds me of my father. He looks just like my dad. I swear, not the damn Ron Simmons, but the one that had like the Jerry curl. That was my pops, man.
With a little joint around his forehead, yo.
But I don't know if that was Jerry. No, that wasn't even Jerry curl. I apologize, pops. That was like Duke. That was that Duke stuff. You know, the way he's going, that was that Duke, right? So, but let's go ahead and get this show started.
Oh, we lost Mike.
Okay, I had a phone call coming. No, yeah, I had a phone call coming, and I had to stop it. I'm on my phone, so please, if you're watching, don't call or text me. Okay, can you stop? Okay. But looking at Black History Month, it being important. This time last year, we had the 10 Black wrestlers draft last year, which I thought was one of our better shows where you can't really kind of do any wrong. But over the years, now you're in your 30s now, I'm in my 40s. Have you seen the progression of Blacks in wrestling hit an all-time high?
No, not. I mean, like we had. I mean, the what was the guerrilla warfare era and the Attitude era. That was kind of they definitely put them there, but also, I mean, TNA did really good with Black wrestlers in the early 2010s. With the Beatdown Clan. I mean, the only person that wasn't Black was Samoa Joe. I mean, what's homeboy? Is it Kenshi? Whatever. Oh man, whatever. Nah.
Are you talking about the light skinned black boy with the suits? 1 second. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Suicide,
He was dope for a while. Suicide. Yeah,
so,
he was dope for a while.
Yeah, so that I would say they did it a little bit better at that point in time than WWE did. I think WWE could have capitalized a lot more on the Nation of Domination, but The Rock's popularity was just so undeniable. It was so undeniable. But I mean, not to discredit D-Lo or Godfather, but I mean, they had went through character changes, and it was hard for anybody to take them super seriously. Like, if you look at them as opposed to DX, right? Like, X-Pac was a nice European champion. It was a good, mid-card, but outside of that, they're tag champs for the Nation. Would you believe them as tag champs over the New Age Outlaws? Not really. So I think they kind of fumbled the bag a little bit. And then, I mean, you did get Owen Hart in there, but Owen Hart was kind of comedic relief. He wasn't the serious Owen Hart that we know and love, and would compare him to his brother Brett, in which I think that Owen is slightly better, at least a notch or two better than Brett, but that's for another argument, another day. But yeah, I think up until, I mean, if you want to classify the bloodline as Black, and some people do, some people don't. Outside of that, I would say the BDC is probably one of the greatest Black storylines. It just didn't have a lot of eyes on it with TNA, and and TNA has had some really good storylines, but the fact that it's TNA, it's kind of it's null and void. It's like, did you see this great story in Ring of Honor? It's like, no, who's watching Ring of Honor? You know what I'm saying? Like, not to put down Ring of Honor, but when you don't have that many eyes on something, it's kind of hard to vouch for it as much as you would something that's as popular as a WWEF or WCW. Because WCW storylines was pretty trash, but they still had mainstream eyes. They get millions of views every week, so you can't really say they wasn't a factor. But Black-wise, I think what they had Booker T, and they had the No Limit Soldiers, which was No Limit Soldiers was comedic relief, if you want to call it that. But WCW didn't do right by. So if you want to include that inclusion of WWE within that, but Nation of Domination, Beatdown Clan, the Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania, probably the greatest. I think Bobby Lashley's run was really good. The Hurt Business, you can't deny the Hurt Business did. That was very organic. I mean, other than that, a lot of other black stuff has been. I mean, the Booker T versus Triple H, that we didn't get our moment. We should have got our moment. We should have got our moment. I know that you hate that storyline. I know that you hate that storyline with them calling him boy and pick up my bags and all of that. But the way that Booker handled it, I thought it was great. I thought it showed class by him. And I mean, it's one of those missed opportunities in WWE. It's like, what if? That's a Marvel WWE. What if?
I look at it where that to me was a bad port of wrestling. Made friend of the program, close friend of mine, Chad Gaspar, rest in peace. Some of the things that Crime Time did was too much, too stereotypical. But again, as I say all the time, wrestling's a carnival. It makes fun of every genre, creed, and race. So you get the good with the bad. I have to say, wrestling's for blacks are in the best place it's ever been. Me growing up watching the S.T. Joneses, the Kamalas, the Junkyard Dogs, the King Parsons, the Flash Funks of the world. I think we've come a long way with guys like Leo Rush, Bobby Lashley being what he's been able to accomplish, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, The Rock. Again, it's funny when I was looking up this subject for the day, and we're going to get into it right quick right now, about blacks, I had to look up who the Usos' mother was. Because, I know their father. And they're not black. People have to understand that they're not black. They're Samoan. They're from the Isle of Samoa. They're from Hawaii. They're not black. You know what I mean? The Rock is black because his father is Rockin' Johnson, right? And they can be looked as cultural. They can be looked at as of some other ethnicity, but black they are not. No matter how much they act. So
is it just Nia and Rock who's actually like has black in them? I think that's it.
Nia,
Tamina.
That might be from what maybe? I know. No, no, because I think both. No, I think Snooker. I think Snooker's half black, half Samoan. So Tamina might be, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. Let somebody else dig that up. Okay.
Hey, where's Derek? Derek. Come on now. I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him speak yet. Derek, come on now. The professor. The professor.
Derek Mitchell knows. So let's just go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna ixnay the weekend wrestling, if you will.
Hey, Doug, shout out to you from Tennessee. Talk about send us some whiskey.
The best black storyline in led in professional wrestling history, DJ. And of course, I have a few that I came up with. I knew that what the show was going to be. You got wind of it today. So if you're not prepared for that,
that's
off
okay.
The top,
so just keep going. I'm pretty good off the top. I'm a freestyler. We can do this.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to start it off with something that I think is pretty obvious. We've been friends around this time, so you know what this moment right here, whenever it loads up on the screen, means to me. Okay. Thank you. And please keep me grounded on that because I don't know what the heck's going on. Again, I'm on my phone, guys. Okay. Kofi Mania, to me, set the world ablaze. Without question, when Kofi Mania happened, I chose this picture for a reason. Look at Xavier Woods. All right. Those were real tears.
That's true friendship. That is true friendship.
We were in the Xbox party at that time, and we all thought it was going to happen. So I did one of them, what you say, like they say, reality TV's not reality if you know what's going to happen. Well, I didn't know for sure, but I had the camera on myself for sure to know. My children in the room. My kids have seen me cry at that point once, and that was true story. Dusty Rose died. They were like, "Dad, did you know him?" No, I didn't, but I felt like I did, right? And in this moment here, Kofi Mania, I think having someone as brilliant and as great as Daniel Bryan being the antagonist in this whole thing was great. This was that whole moment, Dice. Remember, we used to fight about this with other people, not amongst ourselves. This was never Mustafa Ali's moment. Right? The whole thing was Mustafa Ali for the win this belt. Mustafa, like, no. Do you think Vince McMahon was going to get that title? They kicked the title. There was nothing indicating, other than wrestling fans being wrestling fans, this is going to be Mustafa Ali's moment. I wasn't sure if this was Kofi's moment either. I think things just happened.
We lost him for a bit. I get exactly what you're saying. But how ironic it was for Kofi, in a sense, to be in a position that Daniel Bryan was in 2014 when Batista came back. It's very ironic that Daniel Bryan would be the one who would give Kofi that moment.
I
right?
think things just
essentially
happen the way they happen. I'm sorry. I'm back. I had to go outside.
You're good. You're good. I took over, but go ahead. I was just explaining that. I was just comparing that moment to how ironic it was that it was Daniel Bryan to give Kofi that moment, knowing that he had that moment, what, 6 years prior? Yeah. So I thought that was pretty dope. And I didn't even think about that in that moment of time. But looking back at it, it's very symbolic of how once the people get behind you, it's kind of undeniable, and I see it now today, and people are saying they should strap Sammy, and the idea is great. You can't strap Sammy with the undisputed. You can strap one with one or the other, but I just don't think that you can strap him with something that's going to be the face of the company. But if it's a Kofi, that belt is the face of the company at that point in time. Just like Daniel Bryan had the belt as the face of the company in that point in time. So that's why I say, like, at that point, it differs. He might be popular, but he's not going to go to meetings like a Cody Rhodes is. He's just not. And that's the sad part about the business. It is about making money. It's not about the people can't make you make money.
If you can hear me, that's what made the moment was because you did get the title. It wasn't for what it's worth, the Mark Henry moment. It wasn't. It's important to Black wrestling fans that we got that title. The WWE Championship had never had outside of The Rock, who's half and half, a full 100% full-blooded African-American, Black American champion. So getting Kofi Kingston, that was to me the best Black-led storyline of all time. You have one or two in there?
The best, I probably would say that's the most emotionally charged storyline. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely thought that Kofi, I mean, for him to get that moment 10 years after he made a mistake in a match with Randy Orton, I thought it sucks. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about Orton. Obviously, he's one of my top all time, but for him to be penalized in that manner, it sucks, right? But I will definitely.
You remember that? I stopped watching wrestling for 6 months. I stopped watching wrestling for 6 months when that happened. You remember? I was livid when they let Brock beat him in 15 seconds.
Oh yeah. They talked about it in their podcast.
It's total disrespect.
Yeah.
I would say.
Mark Henry in the birth of the Hall of Pain was really.
I was going to say something to you about that.
I love
we
that
think alike
line.
Because look here.
I love, like, not even that. That is like post. Like, that is post Hall of Pain. Like, the Hall of Pain was in a weird time period in WWE. It was like 09.
Okay.
It was like 09 to like.
Let me go
to
back
like
to
2012.
Let me blind tag you there, because I didn't choose that moment, because at this moment I began to become more pro-Black and more aware of myself. And the imagery, which WWE prides himself at, he was going against your boy Batista. And he climbs on top of the cage at the end of SmackDown, and they portrayed him, and Michael Cole was the gorilla Mark Henry. And I had never been so offended up to that point as I was watching. They had him poised as he was King Kong. I mean, on top of the cage.
Yeah, but
and that whole thing about blacks and and monkeys is little territorial for me.
But the thing is, like, it's crazy because I don't think that Michael Cole has a racist bone in his body. I think he's very professional. I think that he doesn't get enough credit. He's just as great as a Jim Ross.
He
but
was
Jim
fed
Ross,
that line.
obviously,
He was probably fed that line.
Yeah. But at the same time, the way that Mark Henry was doing, like, this is the birth of the Hall of Pain. He is single-handedly providing guerrilla warfare, not guerrilla warfare, but guerrilla warfare, which is all-out war on your opponent.
That's
right?
what it was.
So, like,
it was guerrilla warfare. Yeah.
So he could have been meaning in that sense, but the way you pronounce those words, it's very similar. And if you are not pronunciating them the right way, yeah, you can offend blacks because there's gorilla and there's gorilla, and there's a difference between that. And
right.
Yeah, and Vaughn, you're right. He just could have said warfare. But I think that at that point of time, this was Mark Henry, like, because in that weird sense of when they had the ECW championship, that was more like a test run championship. Like, you're good enough, but at that point in time, it's Cena and Batista and Orton and Edge. Like, you can't outsell these guys, but we believe in you. So we're going to give you this this ECW World Championship, and we're going to let you have a test run and see how you do with it. And they gave it to Mark, right? But he still didn't get the World Championship until like 2011 or 12. And like I said, like, for me personally, that was a weird time period of wrestling where, like, I was still up on it, but for some, it was a disconnect with it for me. Just watching it, I just didn't feel engaged at all with it. But he, like, the Hall of Pain storyline was one of the best storylines that kept me tuning into SmackDown because he was running through any and everybody convincingly. Like, this wasn't sexual chocolate anymore. And it took that man, like 20 years to get there. 15 to 20 years to get to that point where people took him seriously.
Thanks, Doug. You mentioned him earlier, guys. And normally we will put your comments up on the board. All this happened fast. We're just getting Dice back online here with the network, so he don't have the control panel, which is too short of a notice. So I do appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. Dice can read them to us on air when they come in. If I see them, I'll try my best. But, Doug, I don't think that they have a plan for Omos right now. I don't think they know what to do with a lot of the characters they have right now. Hurt Business has been teased to come back. I think the Hurt Business is being in a better place right now with Omos, Bobby Lashley, and the Street Profits. Personally, that's just my opinion. But Dice, and I chose this one, and I'm glad you went the other way. Because like I said, I almost had that one. But this is one of the ones that people infamously talk about all the time, the fake retirement speech. And this year was the first year I took my son to Money in the Bank, his first pay-per-view. That I'm thinking, like, he don't remember this moment. He was like 6. He's like, oh, he remembers everything about that night, including, Dad, can you please cheer for John Cena with me? Even though we got a sign that says, if Mark Henry lose, we riot. I mean, I lost friends because of that. This is like right in the height of everything that was going on with Trayvon Martin when this happened. But another one that I had chose, Dice, here, is I don't think it gets enough respect. Hope it comes up in enough time. Is my man, King Bucka. I love this storyline with him and Queen Sharmell. I thought it was different. It showed another side of Booker T that I personally didn't think we could get. I wasn't a fan of G.I. Bro. Just wasn't.
No, absolutely.
Harlem Heat is loved by a lot of people. Guess what, guys? They're not in my top. They're just not. And it's something against them. It's just not in my personal top. It's just too many other people there. And sometimes we do shows like this, I feel like, damn, I want to be black enough and pro-black enough, but I don't want to be fake like a lot of people out there to be fake, Dice. You know what I'm
but in the
like,
terms of brothers, in the term of brother tag teams, they're top 7 for me.
They're number 2. Oh, top of brothers, I give them number 2 or 3 behind, obviously, the Steiner brothers and the Hardys.
Yeah.
Hardys, right? I mean, can we say the Dudleys? Devon. But I love this King Booker moment. I thought him being king, it meant a lot to me as a black man watching wrestling at this time, because it was like, damn, the world champion and a king? And he's pulling it all. He changed his accent. He changed his beard. The way Queen Sharmell came out, it was like, with all due respect, blank Black Panther, I got a king right here in wrestling. His name is Booker T.
They were pompous assholes.
Yeah, well,
straight
pompous
pompous
assholes.
like nothing screams fakeness than an accent, walking around with your pinky and thinking that you better than any and everybody in the world. Like, that is the way that some people think that black people are anyway. And it's not our fault that we got swag. And it's not our fault that we got confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's not our fault. It's just
I was born this way.
It's what
Lady Gaga said. I was just born this way.
What's my girl Tasha Steele's in Impact? It's that flavor. We just born with the flavor. I've yet to meet. If you meet a black person that don't have a rhythm or two-step or can't snap on beat, they are an anomaly. They are an
First
anomaly.
of all, no, they should just be young. Because I make fun of my kids, baby. I love them all. They listening. I got 2 girls and 2 boys. My sons get to pick up on how these girls is dancing. Okay, because my daughters can get down. Okay, my sons. I'm like, what the heck? Look at some of the old videos. Remember from my crib, and they would go on the floor doing the Three Stooges dance. Like, I'm up here getting my 2-step on, and y'all up here getting your Three Stooges on. Like, what the hell? They're here break dancing without dancing with the breaking. It just was weird for me. One more, and I'll let you go because I'm gonna get this in here because I don't know how much time I got on this damn phone. I'm gonna be real with you guys. To me, and I know this would be like, maybe y'all may not put this there, but I do, Dice. We talk about it all the time. My favorite I Quit match.
The chair shots.
The chair shots. 17 chair shots to the head. Rock and Mankind storyline led by The Rock. People, because he is black. Okay, I speak all the time on and last week before last, executive consultants gonna get on me like, no, I didn't say I do that, but when you're with me, Dice, a lot of black folks don't they try to play that, oh, he's not really black, or it's not he's not black, it's the company don't portray him as black.
His daddy was black. His daddy's name is Johnson. Them Johnsons are strong.
Oh God.
Strong. Listen, the moment I found out that man's name, his last name was Johnson, and he refers to himself as DJ, you couldn't tell me shit. You couldn't tell me shit.
Well, technically they call him Dewey.
Well, yeah, but you know, friends call him DJ.
But,
you know,
but this storyline, DJ, Dice, man, the Almighty, it was goated to me. The sweatsuits, this one Rock are wearing sweatsuits to the ring and not the suit. You know what I mean? Like this thing,
fake ass Adidas joints because they only had 2 stripes on.
They had the 2 stripes on them. But guess what though? The Rock made it look good. The Rock made it look good with 2 stripes on, man. Like who wrestled like this guy? No one. Okay, with suits on like this. Where you think Roman gets it from today? A lot of stuff that Roman does today come from this era of The Rock. Your take either on this or some other black storylines that we have. And thank you for joining me today too, by the way, brother. You know despite what's going on.
You know what? The I don't know why
this
I'm blurry,
don't work soon. I'm gonna jump in this pool in a second. It's cold out here with no internet.
You know what? Rock, not that version, but I need the $500 Versace shirt Rock. Like,
but what storyline in that time though? That was him and Austin won. That was Austin WrestleMania 15.
Yes. Because they was fighting over the IC. It was his graduation from the IC title to the world title.
Triple H.
Yeah. So like I like that Rock. But this Rock is still this corporate Rock is still dope to me. Off top, other notable ones is I think we got the big ones.
I got the big ones. Is that
a I mean, you know what? I'm so fucking sorry. It's Black History Month. How can I not? The first NWA Black champion, Ron the Truth Killings. They literally had a storyline very similar to Triple H and Booker T. It was very similar. It wasn't as racially charged as the Triple H, but I think that Triple H and Booker T. I mean, yeah, Triple H and Booker T was like, Derek, I need some fact check. I think that was 03, 04.
Well, we got Vaughn here. Vaughn's to check. Vaughn,
go ahead, check it for me. 04, 03, 04, I believe. And Ron the Truth Killings was champion like 02. So I definitely believe that they grabbed something from that storyline and just added a little finesse to it. So I definitely will say that's a great moment in Black wrestling
Booker
history.
T and Triple H we know they were 03. We're talking about Ron the Truth Killers and TNA.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I was right. My timeline was pretty good.
202. Oh, so they copied each other. Okay.
So I believe that they took it a little bit and then sprinkled a little bit more production on it because everything looks better when you're on national television.
And you spoke on it. I just thought it did go too far with the carry my bags, boy. Yeah. It really again, that's when I'm starting to recognize differences. Like south side of Chicago to the suburbs of Philadelphia to as mixed as there could be Delaware. You know what I'm saying? So you come out of ages and knowing what to expect. And this moment in wrestling was great to me. Real fast, Dice. And Vaughn, if you got your segment ready, do me a favor, man. I'm going to just get it on tomorrow in a separate segment and upload it separately. We could talk about that backstage. I don't want to try to mess around putting you on and stuff. I'm on my phone right now. I have no internet, so I do apologize for this. Weekend wrestling will be posted. In fact, Vaughn, just type it in the chat room. I can share it, and then we can read it. How about that, my brother? And I appreciate you, and you know I love you. Any other ones, Dice? Because I think that we're going to speak about really these 5. Maybe want to add Bianca's recently, right? We can add Ron Simmons's when he became champion, right? But was that a great storyline?
No, you know what? And I don't want to, you know what? And it deserves to be up there. Big E's ascension to the top.
Okay. I forgot. I didn't forget about it.
We see Big E in 2012. He's the bodyguard, the right-hand man of Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. You immediately look at him and he looks like money. He's a different type of specimen. Big, thick body. Pause. You know what? No pause. I'm talking about my sexuality.
That's right.
Big, thick body, black man.
Bam.
Big pecs. Like pecs look like they should have a bra.
His pecs got titties.
We never seen a man like that could move like him. And looking at him, and people were clamoring for him to get the title before Kofi did. But then when Kofi got it, they clamored for Big E even more.
Now we need Xavier to make it a triple factor, a trifecta.
And I think that's going to be the biggest uphill battle for that one of the greatest factions we've ever seen. But I don't think that he cares about it because the only thing that he cared about he got, which was the King of the Ring. He's a tag team. He's a tag team specialist. He loves it. So just give him an IC title, give him the US title. And I think that he will be content with his career because what he populated in his mind came to something that grew into a national phenomenon, not just in wrestling, but as in pop culture. You know what I'm saying? Like they made it funny to come out there and slang pancakes and twerk as grown black men. I know that you don't like it, but it's something that's a national phenomenon, and it's okay to be.
You hate everything.
She hates everything.
I love you though, Charmaine.
They made it cool to make it seem like while most people will fear the black man walking down the street, they made it funny to embrace a goofier side of yourself. But when it's time to get business done, you get it done.
I'll say this because you spoke and you had a lot of truth in there. I give you 80% of truth about myself, and you know a lot of that. I didn't want it. So when I didn't like it, it's not what I wanted. And we wanted the nation back. We wanted something serious. But what we got, I was here for.
If we would have got the Nation 2.0, I do not think it would have lasted 3 years.
They wouldn't be around today. And you're probably 100% right with that.
But you know what? The crazy thing is the Nation was reincarnated within the Hurt Business.
Facts.
So, and it was organic. Like they didn't have to come out there and speak as we're 4 black men, da-da-da. You just saw it on the screen every week. MVP constructing these pieces. Every single piece was something, right? And he's trying to do the same thing again. And I think he's going to get there. I don't think it's going to be by Mania, but I think it'll be by SummerSlam. This is one of the slowest burns to a build of something that fans have been clamoring for again. However, do we, as fans, do we underappreciate somebody like a Street Profits because I don't see both of those guys making it. Not in their WWE careers in a totality, but if we are choosing
the
Hurt Business participants, obviously Montez is the star. He's clear-cut the star.
Can we as wrestling fans, I'm not gonna pull the whole who we are, right? Because if by now you don't know who we are, we're gonna tell you right away.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all.
So it's not about that, right? I want us to stop saying who's a star and who's not a star, right? Because
we don't know. We don't know. Just like Triple H said to CM Punk, he said, "Hey, I look at a guy. I think he's the biggest joke in the company. Turns out he's going to be John Cena." So we don't know, but it's just off of what I mean. But I would love to see. I would love to see most of these people play my GM mode in a 2K wrestling game, and then see it.
I don't care.
Let's see if you can build a star that way, right? Everybody has fantasy warfare, and it's like the one thing I do love about having those type of fantasy conversations, right? When I listen to Busted Open, and shout out to Dave LaGreca, every time they say this person should do this and this person should do that, and then Dave or Bully are like, and then what?
Can I just get a
and
blind
that's
tag?
the difference. And that's the difference in what most people. And what are you going to do once that person gets to the height that you want them to?
I think Matt was a better wrestler than Jeff. Jeff was just a bigger star because Jeff did more of the crazier things off the ladder. Or whatever,
I think that Matt has the better wrestling.
I liked Christian more than I liked Edge. No, I'm not gonna say I liked it Jannetty more than I liked it Michaels. No, that's not true.
Don't you better die.
I wasn't. But what brought this up is that I like Dawkins. And I think Dawkins is a better in-ring wrestler than Montez. But Montez is the star. And since certain people have that ick factor that pushes them over. That don't mean the other person's not gonna be a superstar, it just means that person is that hit factor. But real fast, Dice. If we can translate for a second in about 7 seconds.
Damn, it's the almighty Dice Man coming to the ring.
Oh. Don't stop. I want to give. All right. And for what it's worth, because everybody tries to come up with things and lie about things. Shout out to one of us two favorite podcasts, Drink Champs. At one point, Drink Champs with Noriega and DJ Effin was the #1 podcast in the world. EFN, thank you. And I can spell it, but I can't pronounce it, right? Which is weird for me. One of the biggest podcasts in the world at one point. Not Joe Rogan. It was Drink Champs. And Nori came up with a thing about giving flowers. That means paying respect to those people before they're gone. Let's not wait till they're dead to say how much great they were. Let's tell them while they're alive. And so when it came to this Black History Month, I wanted to do something different and do that in a sense of we always go draft and best this and best that and who's our favorite this. I want to pay some respect. And one of the people I want to pay some respect to first is...
And before you get into your first moment, let me go ahead and address it. Wyatt Rabbit, I see you, dog. This is not pre-recorded. We see you. Listen, if I can get a powerhouse Hobbs versus Lashley, great. Hobbs is not leaving AEW. Lashley's not leaving WWE. So something got to give. But if fantasy booking, yes, by all means, great.
What he said was this pre-recorded because I could.
Yeah, he actually. Yeah. No. We're good. It was just we're on a
Florida, and I have Spectrum, and that itches out from Tampa to Daytona. Okay, so and I'm mad because I could be at Raw tonight, but no, I decided to stay back. I got a show to do. I'm lying, y'all. That ain't gonna happen. My car said you ain't gonna make it, so that's what happened. But I get them comments up in a second, Dice, and thank you for pointing that out. I'm with you, Dice. I love Hobbs. You gave me the eye to look at him differently, and I need him. Him and Lashley would be great. But Hobbs only has a year, I believe, left on his contract, so anything is possible. Anything is possible. We know Bobby ain't going no damn where. No,
he's not.
I want to give my first roses this year, Dice. We're going to give our first roses on this program to this man right here. The first ever.
That picture like he will whip your ass with
world champion of all time. And he did. My father did just that. He would whoop my, actually, ain't even this, with his hand with that Duke Jerry curl or Duke wave in his hand would just whoop my ass. Ron Simmons beating Big Van Vader was one of the biggest moments in wrestling history, because we had never at this point had any black person as a champion in professional wrestling, unless it was a bingo hall nobody knew and watched and listened to. So giving Ron Simmons his flowers, his due. He has been great over his career. He has elevated his career in multiple different ways, from Ron Simmons to Farouk to the Acolyte Protection itself, the group and the Acolytes in itself, to the Protection Agency once that demonicness of the storyline died down, into translating into the damn moments that Ron Simmons has done. He has repeatedly stayed relevant, even in that dumb, except for that one time they had him in that stupid ass mask and the helmet thing, the avatar joint, whatever it was that was going on, whatever the hell Vince was thinking. But we're gonna give our flowers today to one Ron Farouk Simmons. Speak on them, Dice, and what you loved about this man.
You know what? I hated Nation Farouk. Hated it. Right? Like, I don't know why. I just hated it. But Accolade Farouk, I thought it was great. But APA Farouk, I feel like that was more true to him than any character he's ever played. Even when he won the NWH, it was more. I felt like it was more natural for him.
With fairness, how much of wrestling were you watching at this point?
What year is this?
I believe this is 91, 92.
See, I was watching WWF Superstars.
Somebody help me out. Where's Vic? Or where's the people that know this stuff more than us?
So looking at, I mean, of
92,
course, I'm like 92. Okay, so I'm like 5-6 years old. I don't know the symbolism of this black man winning this title, right? It's just, if you're watching WWF Superstars in that point in time, you got the red, white.
92?
6.
In 92, you were 6?
5 or 6. 5.
Christ, man. From now, I'm going to be called Uncle Knox. Go ahead.
So, looking at that, right? I'm looking at WWF Superstars. You got the colorful characters. You got the red, white, and blue ropes. You got everything that you see on TV, and it's colorful. There's characters, right? And you look at WCW, and there's this black guy. He's just kind of running roughshod over stuff, but he's not a colorful character that makes me feel like it's a superhero. But that's the thing.
He wasn't running roughshod over everybody back then, though. That's the thing. If I can try to, shock that.
From what I remember from the matches I've seen, I felt like he dominated, right? And like, I've never went back and watched these matches. This is strictly off of what I remember from my childhood.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to, if I can try to, jog your memory a little bit, and maybe remember this is right after Doom, where he was a tag team champion. Okay. And they didn't know what to do with him at this point. Flair was MIA. The company was in a different position. At this point, I'm still calling it NWA. I still call it NWA. I hate WCW. I hate the name. Okay. So that's why everybody tell me, including my wife, oh, I don't got no Women Crush Wednesday, because the shit stands for World Championship Wrestling. That's why. Okay. That's what WCW. You could be my Monday Woman Crush, whatever they do. Is that Man Crush Mondays? I don't know, whatever. But damn, this man at that moment, I'm with you, Dice. I didn't quite know the significance of it. They said, I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Because as a wrestling fan, as a black wrestling fan, I don't think unless you're raised in a militant household, you recognize what somebody was. It's just wrestling. You know what I mean? You got what you saw and you watched what was on the TV screen at that time. But I think Ron Simmons needs to have his flowers. He deserves to have his flowers. He's gone so much. And guys, I'm going to say something that's also a little bit unpopular. This is unpopular review. Please, guys, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Listen, guys, I'm not on my Facebook right now. So if you could share this, Derek, to Yep Wrestling and to all the wrestling groups we're part of, Vaughn, if you can share this in those groups for me, because I cannot do it right now. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys so much. I wasn't the biggest fan of Farouk and the Nation at all until The Rock joined. And that's what really made me start. Like, I saw them, I liked them. I was like, oh God, you got to think, remember at this point, Dice, you got them going against the Disciples of Apocalypse. This was gang warfare at that time in WWE. And I'm like, man, this is just, okay, I get it. I'm with them. Cause like D-Lo to me stood out more than anybody. You know what I mean? Just shaking his head. That's what stood out to me. I knew who Farouk Ron Simmons was, but you know, at that time, it was like, damn, this is a lot.
Boy, D-Lo was on that Bolivian cocaine. Coming out there shaking his head. Boy, you know how many kinks I got in my neck trying to be like him? I'm good.
Going to Medellin. Also, as we give Ron Simmons his flowers, I thought Vaughn would love this one today because Dice, you know, we talk wrestling. We pretty much
hold on. Charmaine, what's in NYC next week? What's in NYC next week? What are you talking about? Shout out to Derek Mitchell. Derek Mitchell says Ron Simmons' title win was no build-up or storyline, but an impromptu win. He held the title for 150 days, the 7th longest in WCW history. Only Ric Flair, Lex Luger, Big Van Vader, Hulk Hogan, and Goldberg held the title longer. Sting is not in that. I felt like Sting held it for a while.
But
please let me know.
Days is not long. But that's just
100-something days is a half a year. I think that's a pretty good run.
And now I look at, like he just mentioned, the HHs of the world and the Flairs of the world and the Gold. I don't know.
Who can compare Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan?
Nobody.
But at that point in time, they were special attractions. They weren't on TV every week, so that's the difference in that. That's like saying
they got it more than once, so it felt like it was more than 6 months. You know what I mean? Like they would lose the belt and then get it back. You know?
Okay, but that's like all right. So let's think about how movies usually, if a movie does good within the next year or two, you're going to get a sequel, right? So that's like comparing back then where everything was a special attraction and you had to wait for it to build up to get the next iteration of it. So like you don't know when Hulk Hogan or Bruno Sammartino was going to come to the Madison Square Garden again, right? You don't know that, but you're damn sure going to know when the next fucking Fast and Furious movie going to come out because it's 2 years later. Like, this is my point. Like, so if you know that a guy like, let's say, we know a Roman Reigns, right? You know you're going to see Roman at least once a month, right? But Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, you're going to see them once every 3 months, once every 2 months. What am I looking for?
No, you were seeing HH on TV every other week, if not every week.
Yes, but
in
the 4-year run when he wasn't on TV before he got to WWF, he wasn't, and that's my point. So he was him, Bruno Sammartino, Andre the Giant. They were more special attractions.
You was getting Bob Backlund then.
Oh God! God!
As time's almost out, guys, and I thank you guys for these technical difficulties I've been faced with today. I did not like this girl in the beginning.
I tried to tell you.
I did not like her.
I tried to tell you.
I don't care about looks. I care about characters. And
it had nothing to do with her ass or the fact that she like a cute little Minnie Mouse.
I'm a wrestling fan first sometimes, but this girl right here, it was in this moment when she came out with this Dice and was like Black History in the making. This girl, Bianca Belair, is arguably the best Black female wrestler of this next generation. I won't say of all time. There's too many other Black women. There's the Miss Jackies of the world, you know what I'm saying, out there. But as far as titles are concerned, she's the most decorated Black women's champion of all time.
I like that you said that. And when it's all said and done, ain't nobody gonna like what I'm about to say. When it's all said and done, she will be and is already better than Mercedes Varnado.
I'm sorry. I gave you a disclaimer. I gave you a disclaimer. No, I'm saying, I don't disagree with you on that. That's what I'm saying. So, but this girl, not only having the first ever main event at WrestleMania between women, there were 2 Black women that main event at WrestleMania, her and Sasha Banks. Her coming this past year's WrestleMania in Texas, I was there against one Becky Lynch. People call it the match of the year. What hasn't this girl done? I mean, from Black History in the making to that moment to her and her man. look at the outfits they have on. I didn't even remember. I wish what Raw was this that I missed these.
No,
outfits.
it wasn't a Raw. She came out, but he did not. He was backstage.
But I don't remember seeing this on there. Like, wow, like she makes her own clothes. She's her own seamstress. They don't make them for her backstage. She makes her own outfits. Okay, I think that is brilliant. I love this about this girl, Dice. Bianca Belair gets her flowers from here of us right here on Unpopular Review, Perfect Plex Radio, Mike Knoxxx Show. Dice, your thoughts on Bianca Belair? Because you're right. You were on. Let me tell you, real fast. They said that one segment she did her earrings backstage. Like you know how they talk about like Sheamus and Bradshaw like really beating people up backstage when they like with real shots. Bianca be hitting these girls real with them clubbing forearms, dog. She be smacked. She beat the living hell out of freaking Alexa Bliss backstage. Come on, girl, you All she needed to do was pull out the Vaseline out of her purse, and we got Gina off Martin all over again. Your take on Bianca Belair?
You know what? The match that she had with Shayna Baszler, dope AF in NXT. If y'all don't remember that, go back and watch that.
It's a great match.
Is
that what she beat Baszler for the title, right?
Yeah.
I
believe so. I did like the. No, she lost to Shayna. She lost it. Remember, Shayna was on a run like crazy. Shayna Baszler was on a run like crazy, and that's a little bit before Shayna got called up.
What the EST stand for?
Fastest, toughest, roughest, bestest. Whatever.
No, Charmaine asked that question. What's the EST stand for?
EST it's the end of everything. It's the end of everything.
All thing I know about is EST, the unusual fellow. Ow, the greatest man alive. That's all I know.
She was in that Royal Rumble, and she eliminated Molly Holly, Nikki Cross, Daddy DeVille. I love Daddy DeVille. Mandy Rose.
You see that picture I sent you the other day?
Yes. Candice LeRae, Tamina, Dana Brooke, and Alexa Bliss. But the person that stopped her was Charlotte. The way that she has been built up has been the way that they have been trying to build up a Lacey Evans, and it just does not work. For whatever reason, the way that they are building Lacey Evans up, in the sense of that they've been trying to do it like a Bianca Belair, it just does not hit. Like, they got the vignettes, they got her squashing people, they got everything that you would want in a rising star, and for some reason it doesn't connect with Lacey. But with Bianca, you kind of feel it doesn't feel forced. It feels like, I think by now, if you're a wrestling fan and you're just a person that understands pop culture and culture period, Black people, we got sass, we got attitude, we got flavor, we got everything that makes people uncomfortable, but they will still try to copy. And Bianca Belair is the embodiment of that. She is complete embodiment of that. She is the sister girl talking out the side of her neck. She is the girl, don't you go there. And the people embrace her. White, Black, Hispanic, Palestinian, Indian.
Why does this have to be a thing? And you mentioned that, and Vaughn will run with it. I didn't see her as Lacey Evans, or them trying to make Lacey Evans her in any way.
No. I'm not saying they're trying to make Lacey her. Mm-hmm. I'm saying the way that if you look back, how they built Bianca Belair with the track meet vignettes, the squatting vignettes, right? They're doing the exact same thing with Lacey Evans, but on the reverse side of her being a national hero, a vet of our nation, of our great nation, of our the way that she can allegedly tap anybody out, right? Like, they built her up as something that they've never seen before. But the problem is, we've seen it before.
Well, it's wrestling. We've seen it all before.
Who could you compare to Bianca Belair that you've seen before?
John Cena.
No, I'm female wise. Come on now. Come on now.
Well, I mean, it's wrestling, so things are rehashed. And to me, she's the female John Cena. So, and who have
Jeffrey, you're right. Lacey does feel forced, and I feel like Lacey doesn't need to be forced because I think that Lacey has something that is intangible if they would just tap into it.
I don't think Lacey's forced at all.
I think that
is she forced because they keep repackaging her and putting her on TV? Is that what you mean?
They're giving her terrible characters. Listen, remember when
about the Southern Belle?
The Southern Belle was great, and they should have kept that. Remember, they should have kept that because remember when she first baby. Remember when she first came in at the Royal Rumble, and her and Charlotte squared off, and we were in the party, and I said, I like this. 2 tall, strong women with long legs that can use their athleticism. I am all for this.
I see him being pervy, right?
I like long legs. I'm 5'8", but I like long legs. I got challenge. Let me tussle. But I just thought that that she could be a competitive star. And literally, she's falling just as flat as Shayna Baszler. So
first of all, I know he retweeted us and all like that. And listen, the same thing. I had an argument with Dice, but we didn't got to I'm going to argue on Sunday at 4:41, and I had it with somebody else later that day as well. Listen, I interviewed a lot of old wrestlers. They are all bitter. Okay, how come it's a thumbs down for her using a Cobra Clutch, which is nothing but the $1 million dream, but it was okay for Dave DiBiase to use it? Like, come on, stop that, man. Stop that. There's nothing wrong with Lacey. When I saw her pull that move out, I was like, oh my God, this is about Lacey Evans, people. This is about the girl on the screen getting her flowers. Bianca Belair.
I didn't even mean to turn it into that, but I was still.
The comments did. You kept going. I brought the comments up. Let you know we're on that damn girl.
We can't deny. We cannot. The one thing about Bianca, we cannot deny. One of the most. It's not Queen Bianca. It's Queen Zelina. Don't you disrespect Zelina Vega like that. The one thing that we cannot deny, right, and is the fact that she participated in one of the greatest Black history moments in the history of professional wrestling, which is Black women main eventing WrestleMania. It was covered by ESPN, Fox News, Forbes. They won an ESPY. Like, you can't deny this. And the woman is super marketable. Anytime you got little blonde girls wanting to buy a black nappy ponytail,
first of all, why I gotta be nappy? It's kinky. It's straight. It's not real. You know that's horse hair.
Well, when you put water on it.
then you're right. It's kinky.
Anytime that you can, and I'm not saying this in a racial term, so I do apologize if anybody takes it this way. Anytime that you can get another culture or ethnicity to embrace,
absolutely,
then it's a completely different vibe. It took a while for John Cena to get over as the rapper, but you couldn't deny it. The man sold 1 million records. That man bought a record.
I brought 2 and claimed one was for my sister.
2 records.
And claimed one was for my sister.
Wire.
And thought one was for my line and said one was for my sister. Listen, I ain't got a sister. Before we got out of here, right? And a little bit on Bianca and what you just said there, and I close it out with this. I got daughters. Frozen was over as hell.
My son, he has a crush on Elsa.
I had a problem when my wife got my daughters the blonde ponytail, but I understood a child doesn't know nothing. Let a child have their fun. And when I saw this all over Mania, the little white girls with the little ponytails like Bianca Belair, it was in that moment I stole it from the executive consultant that she was the next John Cena. And we see it today, how they're building her, how she comes back. It's undeniable, to be honest with you. But this is where we leave it at for today, giving Ron Simmons, giving Bianca Belair their flowers. This week in wrestling was just really, to me, capped off by 2 moments only. Just to speak on them very shortly, was Samoa Joe winning back the AEW TNT title.
You know what sucks is only because Darby Allin's going to go do movies.
Yeah,
sucks.
But see, spoiler alert, and
which means I don't get to see Sting on TV for 6 months.
Well, Sting was on the way out the door in a second anyway, and not this moment, but him coming out. This is why I say hashtag death to dirt sheets, because every dirt sheet in America had to say Sami Zayn and Triple H and Vince McMahon, who ain't even fucking in charge, don't believe in Sami Zayn main eventing. Well, and before I go, I got one little more tangent. Thanks to my supervisor, thanks to Scotty Diggs in the chat, everybody who sent me stuff. You know what, people? I'm just saying this to y'all, all due respect. I guarantee you that if I don't see it before you, I saw it after you. So you don't have to send it to me. I'm going to see it. We all in the same
smoking.
network.
Well, you know what? We smoking on that dirt sheet pack right there. We smoking on that dirt sheet pack.
So that guy who's getting all this credit, Dice, and I know you listen to Bust Open Radio like I do, said the Usos and Elimination Chamber should be the whole bloodline. They said that on Busted Open Radio.
I said that before them, though.
But this dude came out and literally did a TikTok video about it, and it's gone global. He blocked me on TikTok because I told him on his wall, you didn't come up with that. You didn't make that up. Okay? I'm not trying to hear that. I said
that before Busted Open. And the problem is, every time that I try to call in, I just be getting to work. I'll be like, you know what? I'm tired of holding. I'm tired of waiting.
It's gonna be at least a 90. It's gonna be at least a 60 to 90 minute hold.
I'm tired of waiting.
I get
tired of waiting. But I told you this. I told you this in the party. I said, what if they put Sammy and Kevin in there with the rest of the bloodline?
Yeah, but
there's a problem with that.
He said just put
they
the
can't
whole
go.
Bloodline. Right, but they're not gonna do that though.
They can't go into Canada.
Well,
Jimmy can't go.
Well,
Jay can get an exception,
right?
Because he's got there before. But at the same time, right? Like, I don't. The problem with trying to predict anything from Royal Rumble on, you're probably wrong.
Just leave it alone. Just sit back and enjoy it. And watch.
This is the one point in time where I will literally look at dirt sheets and I'll be like, huh.
Hey, y'all, guess what? My internet's on now when the show is over.
I just look at dirt sheets and I'm like, huh, that's funny. But so, I give it no validity, and I just kind of when it's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania season, just sit back and just take it in. Take it from a perspective of why the fuck would you want to know who wins the Super Bowl?
First of all, whoever leaked that little fake script, if y'all don't know about
that's stupid.
They made that up. Okay. But listen, we're gonna get up and get up out of here, guys. Listen, I do
real quick before we go.
I think this guy beats Roman. Saying it right now.
Before we go, I mean, his theme song says wrestling has more than one royal family. So that told you what the hell he's coming back for. Second of all, if you do not know, or if you have not realized, Sami Zayn is not the guy who has been running the best fucking story in the bloodline. Listen, it has been
you gonna say main you go?
Event. You gonna say Jey Uso? Yes, I bought 3 shirts for this motherfucker. I'm going to say it. All,
I'm gonna tell you right now where I'm not disagreeing, but I'm disagreeing. It could be 1 and 1A, like Brett and Sean.
Okay? Well, Jey Uso is definitely 1A. You're not gonna sit
there and act like you're not gonna act like Sami Zayn didn't. When this got a little stale, Sami gave it back life.
Oh, because he was. Because Sammy was backstage saying, I'm doing a little dance. I'm in his head. Like, what? No. Listen, without this.
Does someone say 1 and 1A?
Have the insights to do
it. Everybody, before we go, right? Everybody, before we go.
Where he go?
No, I'm here. The one thing I need y'all to, like, think about, right? Don't yell at me. Like, what are you doing? Don't yell at me. The one thing I need y'all to like think about, right, is if Jey Uso does not get on board with falling in line, does Jimmy come? If he does not accept Sami Zayn, does Sammy not turn on the bloodline?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say real fast, guys.
This all revolves around Jey. He's the lieutenant. He's the right-hand man.
I said this from the beginning. I don't think he's out. You have to understand.
He's not out.
He said I'm out. And it had a bloodline sign. That don't mean anything. That could be I'm out of the building, I'm leaving, I'm mad. It don't mean he's out the bloodline. He's just mad. This is what makes wrestling fans. I hate you and I love you at the same time. Because we will take our ant and make it our anthill, okay? For no reason. Let the ish play out. Listen, guys, we're going to get up out of here. Again,
I
I'm
got
on my phone. Listen, guys, do not wake up tomorrow morning and say to yourself, I love me some me and don't love God. Or no, that Charlotte Flair is the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Y'all hear the kids. We out here, y'all. Fingers.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Perfect Plex Radio. We about to go live on him. Mike Knoxxx. That's with 3 X's because he's hardcore. Are y'all ready? We about to give y'all something special. You ready? Let's go! At the money, now you're on. What you getting in?